Hello, good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Roger Johnson, my first programme of 2026. So happy New Year, and I hope you had a pleasant festive season. Our top story: flights grounded, roads blocked and schools closed as the region starts the new year with a big freeze.
We're going to Geneva, which is a snowbound airport, and this is embarrassing. And I can't understand why they can't do better.
Here in Lancashire, the gritters have been out every day so far of 2026 and tonight are preparing for sub-zero temperatures.
And temperatures across the northwest dropped to -11 last night. We've got a fresh warning for some further snow and also icy stretches into tomorrow. I'll be back with a full forecast at the end of the programme.
Yes, lots about the weather ahead. Also in the programme tonight, here we go again. Another year, another boss gets the boot at Old Trafford. What's next for Manchester United? Home sweet home. We've a first look around Manchester's new village for homeless people.
I cannot fault the work and the effort they've put into the place. If the people that come here are willing to put the work in, I guarantee that the benefits they will reap, it'll be amazing.
Well, it has been an icy start to 2026, hasn't it? And for some of those returning to work and school today, the journeys were treacherous. Roads in some parts of the region became impassable. These sub-zero temperatures meant that Liverpool's John Lennon Airport was closed until mid-afternoon, while the airport on the Isle of Man is still shut. The gritters are battling to keep the main roads clear and will be working overnight. Let's go live to Yunus Muller, who, as you saw, is at a gritting depot for us in Burnley this evening, where I guess it's all hands on deck, Yunus.
Roger, large parts of Lancashire have been covered in snow, and that means the gritters have been out like they have been every day so far of 2026, covering primary and secondary routes to make our roads safe. Now, I'll be speaking to the Director of Highways and Transport shortly about their plans for tonight. But first, here's Kelly Foran looking at the impact of the weather across the northwest.
It may look a pretty picture, but the frost as well as the disruption has been widespread. Flights at Liverpool Airport were grounded until 3 o'clock this afternoon as temperatures overnight fell to -6.
And so we can't fly, which means we were going for 6 days, and so we won't be able to go until Wednesday.
And loads of flights were getting cancelled. Ours kept getting pushed back and back. It was meant to be at 10, then 11, then 12, and then 1. And then we just got a thing saying it's been cancelled.
We're going to Geneva, which is a snowbound airport, and this is embarrassing. And I can't understand why they can't do better.
Similar problems on the Isle of Man, where it was a snow day today. The airport, primary and secondary schools all closed. Across the northwest, issues on the runways and the roads too.
The AA has seen massive impact. Our workload, compared with a normal Monday, is up at the moment about 40%. It looks like that could increase. This is, I think, because people have left the vehicles over the holidays, and also the weather has obviously also affected.
It was supposed to be, for many, the first day back to work or school, but the weather meant things didn't quite go to plan. This school in Lancashire, one of many in the northwest, closed. But it didn't stop everyone.
I'm not built for the cold. Not built for it. I have 2 jumpers on, about 3 pairs of joggers and a pair of jeans. I am cold. I'm not built for it. It's not good.
It's what it is, isn't it? You've just got to go through it. Yeah, look forward to summer.
We get on with it because we're from the north.
There are some concerns that in the coming days, even if no snow falls, the temperatures will, making the de-icing process, especially of pipes, more complicated.
So one of the things that can cause issues is when water pipes freeze, and particularly when those frozen pipes thaw very quickly. So if there's quite a quick and rapid difference in temperature, that can cause problems with water pipes bursting. So the key thing that customers can do to protect themselves from these frozen pipes is by lagging them to prevent them from freezing in the first place.
Councils say they'll be gritting the roads tonight as temperatures in the region are again in the next few hours due to fall well below freezing. Kelly Foran, BBC North West Tonight.
Now all of these gritters here have individual names. One's called Gritter Garbo, another's called Basil Salty, but they all have that one purpose, to keep our roads safe. Now let's have a chat with Matt Townsend, who's the Director of Highways and Transport here. Tell me what's going to be happening tonight, because you're going to be busy, aren't you?
So tonight we're expecting sub-zero temperatures around -5 across the whole of Lancashire. We're going to have 46 gritters out across Lancashire, keeping our road network moving, our primary gritting network moving, and keeping people safe.
Lots of roads, a huge area to cover.
Yeah, a significant area of Lancashire, and our primary purpose is to make sure we treat all the roads we need to, make sure people are safe and able to do so. We also rely on our residents to be able to activate the grits. Grit is only part of the problem. Roads need to be driven.
And of course the roads have to be gritted, but motorists need to do their bit when they're on there.
Yeah, and when they're out there, what we're asking motorists and residents to do is make sure they're prepared. Take a hat, a scarf, a big coat, hot water. Make sure you're prepared for when you're going out and travel in case you get stuck.
Of course, you can't reach everywhere. The residential areas, people will have grit bins there, won't they?
Yeah. So in residential areas, we have over 3,000 grit bins across Lancashire. And what we ask residents to do is use that grit sparingly, so we can make sure that people can access our roads.
And what about the next few days? Because this cold weather is staying with us.
Yeah, this cold will stay with us for the next couple of days, and it's likely to get colder on Thursday night, with snow expected on Thursday evening as well.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much for joining me this evening.
Thank
you.
Of
course, these guys are going to be busy. Some sound advice there from Matt about what to do if you're out on the roads, even though those roads will be gritted.
Jonas, thank you very much. Jonas Muller there. We'll have a full weather forecast with Keeley, as you saw at the end of the programme. Now, a new year, time for another new start at Old Trafford as Manchester United continue their so far unsuccessful quest to find a successful successor to Sir Alex Ferguson. Ruben Amorim was sacked earlier after 14 months in charge, or was he? Appointed head coach yesterday, he said he was the manager, not a coach. So today, United showed him who's really the boss. Ian Haslam is out in the cold for us tonight, like Jonas. But Ian, as far as Old Trafford's concerned, you're not the only one out in the cold.
That is great stuff, Roger. Yeah, it is quite cold here, but I'm hard, so it doesn't bother me. Ruben Amorim leaves Old Trafford with the worst win ratio of any Manchester United manager in the Premier League era. And though today's statement from the club attributed to United being 6th in the table as a factor in that decision, it's quite obvious that tensions between Amorim and the board played a big part in the decision.
Having hinted at tensions behind the scenes in his pre-match press conference, Ruben Amorim began to let rip after yesterday's Leeds United match.
I'm not going to quit. I will do my job. I'm the manager of Manchester United. No, guys, I just want to say that I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not to be the coach. And every department, the scouting department, the sport director needs to do their job. I will do mine for 18 months and then we move on.
Amorim was actually appointed as head coach. Now, these days, there's something of a difference between that and the actual role of manager. Amorim was effectively working under Director of Football Jason Wilcox, who plays a key role in overseeing transfers. Last week, Amorim suggested he wasn't fully backed in the transfer market, while the hierarchy were increasingly unimpressed by his insistence on playing his favoured 3-4-3 formation, as outlined when he arrived.
No second way. It's one way, and we are going to do it.
But 2 months into his reign, things had already escalated to the point that Amorim said this of his side.
We are being the worst team, maybe, in history of Manchester United. I know that you want headlines, but I'm saying that.
United did reach the Europa League final in May but lost to Tottenham. They ended last season 15th in the Premier League, their lowest finish since relegation from Division 1 in 1974, a side future FA Cup winner Sammy McIlroy was part of.
Manchester United finishing 15th. 9 out of 10 managers at Manchester United would have been sacked, there's no doubt about that. But they stuck by him. I think he wanted players in. I don't think he got the backing of the players that he wanted to bring in, especially in this window when we've got injuries, players away in Africa. And I think that was the last straw for him, and that's why he came out with that little bit of an outburst. But, you know, he was a young manager. Is it too soon to manage such a big club like Manchester United? People are asking that question.
In my opinion, I don't think he ever should be appointed, because people say he came with a good reputation. But his reputation was still very, very young. You know, you have to sometimes do your due diligence and look into where coaches are coming from and what they've done before. I think the press conference that Ruben Amorim had after the Leeds game has accelerated things. He put a thought in the hierarchy's mind to say, well, hold on a minute, what do we do with this, and do we want to continue when they've made the decision to part ways?
In the meantime, Darren Fletcher, winner of 5 Premier Leagues as a United player, will take charge against Burnley on Wednesday, 13 years ago. His shadow has loomed over a merry-go-round of managers and coaches, either on a caretaker or permanent basis, who've come up short. Darren Fletcher is the 11th man to occupy Sir Alex's seat in the Old Trafford dugout. Collectively, they've spent more than £1.6 billion trying to recapture the glory days.
Good luck with everything, yeah?
United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe said last year Amorim will be given 3 years to demonstrate he's a great coach and that the club needed to be patient. Today, that patience ran out.
What a day of drama here at Old Trafford then. Who saw that one coming? I didn't. I thought I was in for quite an easy day today, but never mind. Here to make sense of it all now is one of the foremost voices on Manchester United, Jay Motti from Stretford Paddock, whose YouTube channel alone is closing in on 1 million subscribers. That's pretty good in itself, Jay. First of all, what do United fans think of today's departure?
Well, it was a bit of a surprise, to be honest with you, because I was at the Leeds game yesterday. You know, it wasn't the best performance, but you thought it was okay, especially in terms of this season, and you thought we'd probably move forward now, look ahead to the Burnley game, he obviously thought he was going to get backed in January, thought transfers were or new signings were going to come in, and that became evident that wasn't going to happen, and it felt like he was having a bit of a dig at the hierarchy, particularly at Jason Wilcox. And when you see the manager having a dig at the board or having a dig at those above him, it's only going to end one way, and we knew they were going to have a meeting today and have a discussion. I thought they might iron out the differences, but at the end of that meeting it seems that it wasn't sorted out, and Ruben Amorim ends up out of a job. And I'm not quite buying the idea it was just because we're in 6th place, because I think ahead of the season most people looked at 6th place being where we would aim to be. I think there's more to it than that, and I think a big part of it is Ruben Amorim's unhappy with the way he's been treated by those above him.
What's gone wrong in terms of on the pitch? You say he's the 6th, they reached the Europa League final last year, but if he has failed, why has he failed? A lot of people allude to tactics and whatnot.
Yeah, I think we're being somewhat kind when we say he got to a final and he's in 6th. That's not too bad. I mean, last season was terrible. We finished 15th. We obviously losing a final to Spurs is almost unforgivable in itself. You think, OK, let's give it this campaign and try and get our act together. But he hasn't really been willing to change tactically when he's needed to. He hasn't been able to get a run going. Obviously in October, he was manager of the month. We had those 3 wins on the spin, but we didn't build on that. And if you look at the recent run of results, games against Everton here, down to 10 men, and they beat us. Wolves, who were on course to be the worst Premier League team ever, they get a point. West Ham were leading against them and they end up getting a point. Bournemouth get a point against us and we concede 4 against them. It just hasn't been good enough, and there's not really been enough from Ruben Amorim to show that he really fully got the Premier League.
Darren Fletcher, club legend, is in charge for the Burnley game. I think the club want to appoint a caretaker for the rest of the season. What would you like to see happen with that and beyond?
Well, if Darren Fletcher does well, maybe he gets the job to the end of the season. I think that would make a lot of sense. Like you said, he's a club legend. He's someone who gets the club. He's been here as a coach, part of the under-21 setup as well, and the academy setup. Obviously, his sons play here as well. So he's someone who's got United DNA. If you talk about United DNA, he's all about that. Longer term, we'll have to wait and see, but certainly to the end of the season, you want someone who can come in, steady the ship a little bit, and maybe get the good times going a little bit, get the buzz about the place going. It's been a little bit deflating lately, being a Manchester United fan. I just want to feel sort of entertained again, because it feels like, although we've scored a lot of goals, we've conceded a lot of goals, and Manchester United shouldn't be kicking around 6th. We should be challenging at the top of the table.
Absolutely. All I always say is every other week, try being a Bolton fan. But no, I'll take your point, Jay. Thank you very much for joining us, my friend. So that's it then. From here on the day of drama at Old Trafford, back to you, Rog.
Keep watching this space, Ian. Thank you very much indeed. United like keeping it in the family. Darren Fletcher's 2 sons, both on the bench. Who knows? You never know. They might end up both of them playing. BBC Radio Manchester is having a Manchester United special at the moment. As you can see, it's on air until 8 o'clock. You can listen to that on BBC Sounds, or just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Manchester, or you can watch it streamed live on the BBC Sport website. Right, here are some of the other stories that are making headlines in the Northwest tonight. And a 33-year-old dad from Bootle has died 10 days after a car crash on Christmas Eve. Stephen Jones's partner is in a serious but stable condition. Their 8-year-old son suffered minor injuries. A man arrested at the scene in Croxteth remains on bail. More than 200 children have been safeguarded in the last 2 years through Operation Luca, which has seen police officers and social workers working together in Greater Manchester. It's led to more than 300 interventions and dozens of arrests. Lancashire Police made 271 arrests in their pre-Christmas drink and drug driving crackdown. 82 people were held in Operation Limit for driving with excess alcohol, 124 for taking drugs. Some were arrested for failing to provide a breath test. And an animated film made by people in Cumbria who work in wildlife conservation, flood management and farming has won a prize at the Science Film Festival. Would You Believe It highlights the role of trees in floods and during heat waves, and it beat entries from 110 countries. Talking earlier about the weather, I don't know about you, but one of the thoughts which always goes through my mind during the freezing weather like this is for those who are not lucky enough to have a home. But hopefully, this year will be a better one for dozens of homeless people in Manchester, as a purpose-built village to house rough sleepers is due to open in the Castlefield area of the city. 40 homes have been built by a charity, but it now needs help to kit them out, as Richard Stead reports.
The finishing touches to a DIY SOS-style project for homeless people on the edge of Manchester city centre.
The lowest you could go, it was lower. It was really low. I was out taking drugs, going from house to house, sofa surfing. Family had enough of me committing crime to fund me drug taking.
The homeless village will be run by the charity Embassy, which has helped around 200 rough sleepers over the last 6 years.
Train people to budget and to shop.
Embassy really did help me turn my life around. Embassy helped me address my mental health, put me in contact with the right people I need to be in contact with, gave me a space to live where I felt comfortable, where I had time to think and process what needed to be processed. I'm in my own place now. I've got a 2-bedroom house. I've a complete turnaround. My life's completely changed.
So we're walking into one of the arches where you'll see we've got 8 homes. So we've got 2 on the ground floor here and 2 there. And
40 purpose-built homes have been constructed under these railway arches, thanks to Manchester's business community. Originally, shipping containers were going to be used, but they were later rejected in favour of warm, soundproofed, modular homes. The land was donated for free, lawyers and architects waived their fees, builders, plumbers, electricians, tilers and bricklayers provided their materials at cost.
There must have been about over 50 different companies that have given us their free time to deliver this amazing project. That's probably the cost of that would have been in excess of £2 million in probably today's money for a developer who's going to do this project, but it wasn't for charity.
So this is one of the rooms here at the Embassy Homeless Village. There's a fully fitted bathroom there, a cooker, a sink, a bed and plenty of storage, but it is missing 1 or 2 home comforts.
So we need 40 kettles, 40 toasters, 40 bedspreads. It's about £850 to kit out one entire unit, and that's what we're looking to achieve right now.
Once settled, the homeless people who will move in here will receive specialist support from people like Aaron.
I cannot fault the work and the effort they've put into the place. If the people that come here are willing to put the work in, I guarantee that the benefits they will reap, it'll be amazing.
And it's your intention to come down as well and help the people who are going to live here and tell them your story to inspire them to turn their lives around?
Yeah, given the opportunity, definitely. Yeah, I'll be here, I'll offer support if I can.
The first residents are set to move into the Embassy Homeless Village in the next few weeks. Richard Stead, BBC North West Tonight.
What a great idea, and we wish them all the very best. Now, here are some of the other stories that people are reading this evening from BBC News. And drivers in Lancashire have been warned as new number plate recognition cameras prepare to go live. They'll catch people making illegal manoeuvres in Preston, Lancaster and Accrington. A row over plans for 325 new homes near Sandbach is rumbling on. The developer is appealing after the local council rejected its application. And a team of expert ice climbers scaled the Kinder Downfall at the weekend after the Peak District's highest waterfall froze. The temperatures there reached -8 on Saturday night. Find out more at bbc.co.uk/local news, or of course have a look on the BBC News app. Now, we heard about Manchester United firing Ruben Amorim earlier in the programme, but there's some football on the pitch, of course, to reflect from the weekend. And while Burnley and Everton both lost, there were Premier League draws for Manchester City and Liverpool. Secured, a last-gasp winner at Fulham through Cody Gakpo, only for the hosts to level after 97 minutes. In the Championship, Preston North End are up to 4th after a win at playoff rivals Bristol City. Lewis Dobbin gave North End an early lead before Alfie Devine wrapped up the points midway through the second half. And Blackburn Rovers recovered from 2 down to draw 2-2 at home to relegation rivals Charlton. Both the goals there from Moussa Barajdi. Rovers are now 4 points above the bottom 3. Warrington's Luke Littler, of course, is the world champion again and already an odds-on favourite to win next year's World Dart Championships. After making it back-to-back titles at the weekend, the 18-year-old demolished Jean Van Veen in the final and is highly fancied to make it 3 in a row in 12 months' time. Now, inconsiderate people dropping litter is a blight in many of our communities, isn't it? But in one part of Merseyside, an elite team has been working for years to keep their streets clean. They're called the Crosby Wombles. They were originally set up to help reduce waste and collect litter, but has since become a lifeline for some of its members, as Jane McCubbin has been finding out.
Come on! For Sylvia, it's the companionship. You've got all the rig, Sylvia.
I have, and I'm a dolly trolley, you know. I love my trolley. Yes.
You do love it, don't you?
Oh, I really do.
For Janine, litter picking with the Crosby Wombles came along just as her kids flew the nest.
This morning, walking up, must be about 15 people stopped me and said thank you.
And not even a recent hip-hop can stop Anthea from putting a shift in, aged 85.
I can stop and do it. I'm a bit slower than everyone else.
But you want to be here?
I want to be here. I love it, doing useful things.
Doing a good job there, girls.
The Crosby Wombles have been keeping their streets clean for 3 years now.
Very good job.
Thank you.
It is a gift to their town, and the love they get back is a gift in itself. When was the last time you were beeped, Anthea? Don't make the mistake of thinking this is just about litter. It isn't. And if you could bottle what they have and put it in every community, it would be amazing. Gold dust. Coffee. Coffee. Come on. Jack has been volunteering since the summer, and for him, this has been a port in a storm.
In the summer, unfortunately, I was made redundant, so I had a bit of time on my hands. And you think about what am I going to do? I've got a family, I've got a young daughter, and I wanted to do something that would give me a bit of self-worth. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I believe you've had some good news today.
Yes, yeah, I've got a new job.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's been 4 months, so it's been a bit of a slog.
Well done.
Thank you,
well done. I asked if he'd put Wombles on his CV, and yes.
I did.
2 coffees, coffee Dawn, yeah. When Dawn helped set this group up back in 2022, she had a lovely husband by her side. What was his name?
Adrian, AD.
Last summer, he unexpectedly died. And Dawn unexpectedly came to rely on this little litter-picking group in ways she'd never imagined.
This community have been so supportive, incredibly supportive. There's many stories shared in the safe environment, and people go away better for sharing.
Doesn't she do a brilliant job? Everybody, round of applause. Jane McCubbin, BBC North West Tonight.
Yeah, don't they do fantastic work? And if you had been a Womble, who wouldn't put that on their CV? That's what I want to know. Right, the weather is all important tonight, of course. Joy, who lives in Haslington near Crewe, very annoyed we haven't mentioned South Cheshire. Keely, good evening to you. Nice to see you and Happy New Year. They've had it quite badly in Cheshire today, but to be fair, everywhere is shivering, isn't it?
Everywhere is shivering, but at the moment it's around -7 in Cheshire. That's how cold it's dropped already. And actually, last night, the coldest night of the season so far in Cheshire, we were down to -11, -10.8 actually. The coldest spot in the whole of the UK was Shap at -10.9. It's probably not going to be quite that cold tonight, but I'll give you the forecast on that in a moment. We've had some lovely pictures coming in of the snow. This is quite close to the coast, so we've even had some snow in coastal parts. A lot more in parts of Cheshire. A good coating there, and we do have more snow in the forecast. I'm afraid we do have a warning from the Met Office. I don't think a lot of snow, but we could get a good few centimetres across some higher routes and even to some lower levels. I think along the coast it should mainly be of rain, but I think whether it's rain, sleet or snow, because of the frosty nights, because of the cold sub-zero temperatures and surfaces, we are looking at the risk of ice into tomorrow. So another tricky rush hour. But a subtle change tomorrow. It's not going to be quite as cold, and that's because we've got more of an Atlantic influence to our weather. Still really quite chilly, but not as bitingly cold as it has been. But it is like that out there at the moment. As I say, -7 at Cheshire. We've got some showers, wintry across the Isle of Man at the moment. Dry and clear elsewhere. Temperatures plummeting. And then later in the night, thickening cloud with a mix of rain, sleet, and yes, again, some snow into tomorrow morning's rush hour. Temperatures, as we mentioned, are already well below freezing in quite a few spots. So the risk of icy stretches, also perhaps some fresh snow in places as well through tomorrow morning's rush hour. But as you can see, it kind of fizzles out through tomorrow. And by the afternoon, I think any of the wintry showers would be confined to high ground. We could get the odd shower anywhere, but hopefully a little bit of brightness moving in from the south. Otherwise, we'll keep quite a bit of cloud and the wind will start to pick up tomorrow. So yes, temperatures will be higher, but it will still feel quite cold out there, particularly strong for the Isle of Man and along the coast. Temperatures inland around 4 or 5 degrees, but along the coast we could reach around 6 or 7, which actually is about average for the time of year. Looking further ahead through tomorrow then, that wind picking up, and then, tomorrow evening into Wednesday, we've got another band of rain, sleet and hill snow. A few showers through the Cheshire Gap on Wednesday, otherwise a lot of dry weather to come, a quieter day on Wednesday. We've got some sleet and snow to come on Thursday once again, and then all eyes, a lot of uncertainty on Friday, getting warmer or milder for next week.
Fantastic. Keely, thank you very much indeed. See you tomorrow. Not everyone, of course, loves the cold weather, but it does create a winter wonderland, doesn't it? And as always, you've sent us some wonderful pictures. We'll leave you with those. Good night. Thanks for watching.